Hey guys, what is up? It is Bibs7 here again, and welcome to another RuneScape 3 vlog here today. Going to be talking about the patch week that was released, I guess, today. Not too big updates in this one, but yeah, we kind of knew that October was going to be a bit of a lame month based on the month ahead post that they gave us, so really not too surprised at this week being nothing really to speak of. Hopefully there is some sort of update next week, although I'm not sure if they will or will not because it's technically still October, but the very end. But November month ahead will hopefully have some good stuff. I'm really hoping for the Clue Scroll rework next month. That is my dream update whenever that comes out. But knowing Jagex, it'll be pushed back till next year before they actually ever come out with anything regarding it. But anyways, like I said, it's a patch week this week, and a few things regarding PVM, a few things regarding skilling, just a bunch of little fixes here and there. One of them is actually kind of significant, especially if you do like Telos and stuff. But wait, what? Oh, I'm on my familiar inventory. But yeah, I guess I could show what it is, although most of you probably know what it is. But yeah, also I am working on my Telos guide. I've recorded tons of kills for the guide, and once I get a couple more kills, maybe a little bit higher in rages, I will be able to make the guide. It'll just take a bit or quite a bit of editing and doing the post commentary and stuff and sorting through the clips to find examples of things that I want to talk about and stuff like that. But I am working on it, and I am also still working on my my first video for my collection series. For reasons you will understand, it is taking a little while to get that first episode done. Anyways, patch notes. They did a few changes to PVM. The spider minions at Rax will now die at the end of the death animation of Araxi. Not sure what happened to them before because I never really had spider minions up on P4, but apparently something bad happened. I guess they might have stayed alive, but yeah. They changed some BS with barrows, I understand. The click radius on the gravity fields at Virago has been increased, which is nice because those were always a bit annoying to click on in my experience. The Max Guild, I should have done this first. Well, the Max Guild boss portal has been updated for those of you who are maxed and can come to the boss portal. Is it going to charge me 100k to do it? Don't ask me again, but don't charge me yet. So yeah, you guys can see it's now all on one page, which is a very big improvement because before you had to do several pages and like go through them all to get to the one you wanted. So that is really nice. And you can also now change your arrival point setup to go outside or inside the entrance for bosses that have that option. So glad to see that. Nice, made that a little bit more convenient, even though it's already a huge convenience to begin with. But yeah, they did change that a little bit. And the big thing that they changed, I mean, quote unquote big, it's not super big, but it is kind of when you consider the implications for the future. But Surge and Escape can now be used during the global cooldown. They talked about this before. I mentioned it in a video in the past, and it's pretty obvious what it does, but if you don't know, let's just go ahead and demonstrate. So I used Dragon Breath, and then like right after it I used Escape, and this has some pretty freaking shadows. There's like some line like right here or something. The shadows change, so they just keep like bouncing back and forth. It looks a little silly, but anyways, yeah, this is quite significant. This was first introduced with Bladed Dive, kind of as like a secret about it when it came out. Bladed Dive was usable off the global cooldown on release. Lots of people thought it was a glitch, but apparently it was an intended thing, and they were basically using Bladed Dive to test if it would be good to do with other abilities. And I like this change, kind of, but I think there's a way they could have done it better. I feel like if they want to change abilities to being usable on the global cooldown, they should never even trigger the global cooldown, and I'll explain what I mean a little bit better. Basically, like I showed there, I can use Dragon Breath and then use Escape pretty much right after it, and then continue using basics. pretty quickly after that. But if I'm not, if I'm not using any abilities at the time, or I am just, in between abilities, but not on the global cooldown, like, you wait the amount of time of a global cooldown and then you use your ability. Like, say I use escape now, it triggers the global cooldown, so you have to wait to use your abilities again. I think that if they wanted to do this properly, they should have just simply made it so that even if you're not on the global cooldown, using surge or escape does not even trigger it, because then it would be a lot more easy to incorporate that into using it in rotation. So like, it's going to just be harder to get used to it because it's inconsistent, where sometimes you'll be able to use an ability during your surge or like right after your surge. So like, if you do that and then you do that, I did it too late, so it triggered the global cooldown. I don't know. It is a little bit hard to explain, but if you ever use it, especially at Telos, you'll understand what I mean. It's kind of hard to stay consistent with the way you're using it because of the way that it works, and just in general, like, so let me just, okay. I wanted to make sure I was right. Like, it doesn't reset the global cooldown when you use it. It just uses it, and then the drawback is you don't gain any adrenaline for using it, which makes sense, but I feel that it would have been fine to just make it so you never gain adrenaline for using surge or escape, and they also never trigger the global cooldown, because the inconsistency can be a little bit annoying. And I mean, I guess it's just going to be something to get used to, but I feel it would have been better if they did it the way that I tried to explain, but probably failed. Maybe I'll leave a comment explaining it better, because I can't seem to find the words right now. But I basically just wish that they made it so that it was consistent and always gave you no adrenaline and always triggered, and always didn't trigger the global cooldown. I mean, that's basically what I said before. Whatever. But still, definitely interesting. Going to take some getting used to at Telos. I've already tried doing some kills, and I missed the Gillinor quite a few times as a result of this change. But it's just me having to get used to it, and it is going to be in a slight DPS boost in general, because you won't have to stall or stall for a tick or two to get ready to use your escape to avoid the Gillinor uppercut. So in general, it's a cool change, and I'm definitely interested to see how far they plan to go with these off of the global cooldown abilities, because there are tons of abilities that could easily be included in this, including a lot of defensives. I'm not sure how OP it would be, though, if you could use things like Rezo and stuff like that on global cooldown. I don't know. I'm interested to see definitely how far they go with this. So that's honestly quite a significant change. Not really in itself, but the implications for the future are quite interesting to see how far they go with it. They changed some things about skilling. Doesn't really, none of these really look important at all. So yeah, you can now use activate. I think the left click option on your skill cape, if it's on your action bar, is activate now based on what this says, but I might be reading that wrong. Either way, though, I think that's good that they're changing that. And then they added some utility updates, one of them being change to fairy rings, something that Old School has had for a bit. You can now just go straight to somewhere from the fairy ring you're at instead of going back to Zenaris, I believe. You can go check it out here. This is I think the closest one to like anywhere is this one. So you can go select destination instead of using it, and that just brings up the interface that you're used to, so you don't have to go back to Zenaris and then use the interface. So that's always nice to, going to save you some time whenever you're using fairy rings. Glad they have added that, because like I said, Old School has had it for quite a bit. Let's see what else they changed that's important here. They changed the destination of some teleport locations. Oh yeah, I didn't even look when I tallied the Lumbridge. I want to do that again. Apparently it's been changed to be closer to the Combat Academy. Did I just not even... Wow, I didn't even realize when I teleported here. So, wow, that's actually like you know, it's not a huge change in terms of gameplay, but just the, like the feel of the game almost. Like you don't teleport right to the Lumbridge Castle anymore. It's kind of crazy. I wonder why they changed that, but it's nice for farm runs, definitely. Right next to the tree patch, and I don't know, seems all right to me. But yeah, other than that, I think there's not really too much else to speak about. The patch notes are like really extensive this week because they, for some stupid reason, and I will never understand this, whenever they do a patch week, they literally post all of the patch notes that they put on the front page in the patch notes on the forums. Like, why the hell do they do that? It doesn't make any sense. Like, just put the ones that weren't on the front page in the forums, so you don't have to like reread stuff. It's really annoying that they do that. But I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that there's nothing super significant in the first few sections because most of those have the stuff that, you know, is already on the front page. I'm just going to go a little bit further down to talk about the, whatever they're called, the ninja fixes, and just to see if they are even, oh, they fixed that hellware bug where people would drop items outside the arena, supposedly, even though that's been fixed in the past and then wasn't really fixed, but whatever. Let's see if there's anything important on the ninja fixes. Holly Wreath headpiece has been graphically updated, which I think it looks pretty cool now, although I wasn't too sure what it looked like before. Other than that, doesn't look like there's even anything else. Strange rocks are now sorted alphabetically in the statue collection bag. Who really cares all that much? Not me. That's for sure. There's so many like freaking patch notes this week. It's like patch weeks are annoying because the patch notes are so long. And like 90% of it is just garbage that is almost irrelevant and, you know, doesn't even need to be read. For some reason, they reverted the whatever the fuck you want to call it, the obsidian shield. They reverted it to its like pre-EOC model, which I really understand why they did it. I mean, I like the old model; it's pretty cool, but now it looks completely out of place with all the other obsidian weapons. And, you know, gear, I mean, nobody uses it as far as I know anyways, but it just seems like a random and what's the point? What's the reason behind that? I don't know, but they changed it back. So, you know, woohoo on that. That's just kind of a weird thing, if you ask me. But I think they also made some more changes to the borrowed power spell. It no longer requires the arcane capacitor necklace, but the spell is still in general useless as far as I can tell, just because of the way it works and the way you have to recharge things and crap. I don't know. I don't think it's like you still can't vuln on ancients, if I understand correctly. So that is all you need to know as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, that's basically it for this week of normal update patch notes. I think the surge and escape changes are honestly more significant than they at first might. Am I the only one in the Max Guild? Wow. I've never seen such a thing. But anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, the surge and escape changes are more significant than they at first appear. And I'm really, like I've been saying, interested to see where they go with those in the future and how far they take the removal of the, you know, of abilities from the global cooldown in general. But yeah, other than that, you guys, well, of course, bullshit. I will see you later today for another video talking about the whole MTX shitstorm. I just kind of want to make a video on it. It's not going to be too negative, but I think the statement that they released is pretty garbage, even though I'm not like super vehemently opposed to MTX as like as like 90% of the people on the subreddit are. Like I'm not super like crazy about it, but their statement was pretty bad, if you ask me. Like, I don't know why they even bothered releasing it if it was, you know. So, but save it for the video later today. Let me know what you guys think about these changes in the comments and what you're looking forward to next month, because hopefully that'll be better than this month. You know what I'm saying?